Not sure if it's recording. Stop recording. Okay, so it's recording. All right, so you see different folders here, and definitely you'll have to go through everything. Okay, but I'm not asking you to. If you have time, download the materials on your iPhone so that wherever you go, you can always access the materials. When you have time, go through them one by one. Okay, because there are lots of information here. However, I'll be pointing you to the right direction, like what lessons you need to read about and so on. I have another Google Drive wherein I save my practice materials, all the ebooks and audios, but I can't share them with you right now because Google blocks them. So I'll need to share them with
Oh,
you. Yeah, it's Google that blocks them because they're copyrighted materials. In the past, I used to share
okay.
to my students at time, but the tendency is for Google to block the materials. So what I do now is to keep it safe, I try to send the materials through the email. So you let me know also when you need the materials. Like Anna, I'm done with Cambridge 14, okay, for instance, or I don't have the audios for this and that. So I'll send them to you through to your email so that it's safer that way, okay?
All right, no
Or you
problem.
can also join my Telegram. I'll send you an
Okay,
invite to join my Telegram later. Please remind me after class. There are
okay,
links there that I post, okay, so that we're on the safe side. You can simply go to websites, to the links that I'll send you, and you can download the materials from there. In fact, you can download much more than I will send to you.
oh,
But
okay,
yeah, yeah. So go to join me on Telegram, okay? All right.
no
So
problem.
before I start, I want to know what questions do you have for me first, or what are your curiosities? Are you seeing my video?
Yeah, I'm seeing them. I'm seeing
Yeah.
your videos.
Okay, because I
Yeah,
don't see myself.
I'm
Yeah.
seeing them. I'm
What
seeing them.
questions do you have in mind?
We just starting, so I haven't got any question for now.
No
I'm just
questions for now.
listening
All
to you.
right.
Yeah, for now, no question.
Okay. So remember, I gave you instructions for assessment, so they're actually here on this first folder. All right. Um, these are free ebooks
Okay.
there, but these are for, let's say, these are recommended ones. That's a lot of ebooks. Okay, let's say you wanna get
Oh,
the highest band score, so you might want to study band 9 vocabulary secrets. It says there. This one I recommend. Okay, preparation guidelines. So all the
okay.
basic information about IELTS is here. This is from IDP. There are three owners of
Okay.
IELTS: British Council, IDP, and Cambridge. All right. And I downloaded this file from IDP Philippines website. Okay, so it's this file tells you about
Okay.
well, the structure of the listening, reading, writing, speaking test, tips and advice, how to get support, what you're supposed to do before test day, on test day, and after test day. Okay. And there are also helpful links here.
Okay.
Okay. Let's try to zoom this.
Okay.
So this is what I don't like about Zoom. Hmm,
Yeah.
there. Let's take a look.
All right.
IELTS preparation planner. Okay, so how do you prepare for IELTS? Of course, you have to see here, boost your first steps, register for the test, set your score goal. You already have that in mind. Boost your English skills. Okay, that's the purpose of the assessment. We'll try to find out what your scores are in the listening, reading, writing, and speaking. Okay, but for today, I actually have in mind that we do an assessment in speaking. All right,
Okay.
because I want to hear you speak. Yeah, yeah, I want to hear you speak for all in all parts, parts 1, 2, and 3. Don't be
All
shy.
right.
It's actually the kind of mindset that I ask my students to have is like that of well, I don't want to say this actually, but someone like a robot that whenever you power on the robot, it starts to speak. Okay,
Exactly.
without any
Mm-hmm.
regard of who's listening or you gotta have
Exactly.
that kind
Okay.
of confidence. Okay, you gotta have that
All
kind of
right.
confidence because this
No
is a
problem.
test you're supposed to perform. All right.
Okay. All right.
um yeah, boost your English skills and then get trained if you need to. All right, and you got to have the right preparation course for this. So my goal here as your online IELTS tutor is to guide you, okay, because there are lots of different preparation courses available online. However, they may not be suitable for all types of learners. Okay, use
Okay.
your English every day. Okay, listen to
Yeah.
English news, read English newspapers and magazines regularly. Okay, not
All
just
right.
once a week or twice a week. No, if you can do it every day, please do so. Write letters, emails, notes in English whenever possible, and try to speak in English all the
Okay.
time. So my question is, how often do you use the English language? I know the Africans or Ghanaians, Gambians, you're actually quite proficient in English. Yeah, but my question is, how often do you nowadays, in your case, how often do you communicate in English? Like for listening.
Okay. Like in my house, like where I stay, communicate in English actually.
Very good. Okay, so you speak in English all the time.
Yeah. At home, all the time, we speak English.
How about writing?
Yeah. I also write in English.
Okay, let's see your essay. I'll be giving you feedback on your essay later, but because this is your first time, I think that, well, there are a lot of things that you need to learn about it, okay,
All
especially in
right.
terms of
No.
structure. Free sample
Okay.
tests, we have this. Free sample test, I have lots of sample tests available for my students. Okay.
Okay.
Um,
Hello, Anna.
yes, hello.
How can I get access to all these materials?
How can you?
Get access to all these materials you're showing me.
This one? Oh, you don't have them yet?
No.
Have I not given you access? I need
No,
to.
you haven't. You only send me the Cambridge IELTS test 1 to 4, and then you send me the audio for test 1.
Okay. I'm giving you access right now. Disregard general training because you're taking academic, right?
Yes.
Okay, so disregard this. I'm gonna share all of these to you, but please do not share to anyone. All
No
right?
problem.
Is that a promise? So here,
Sure.
I gotta change this to viewer because in the past, I didn't know about that. So when they gave the editors access to my students, my files kept disappearing or they get deleted or they disappear. Yeah. So how to download? So all you need to do is check them out in your shared with me
Okay.
folder. Okay, so go to shared with me and then check if you have access to my
Oh,
materials here.
okay. So it's now been sent to my email, to my Gmail, right?
Yes. You can also check
Oh,
your emails if you got a notice to
yeah.
access materials on Google Drive. Are you checking it right now?
Yes, I'm checking it. Yes.
Mhm. So what time do you go back to work?
I'm actually at work right now.
You
I'm just
are.
closing.
Oh,
Okay, I've just seen it now on my Gmail.
okay. Now this is another email address that I have. Do not send me any email here in books and kicks. Okay.
No.
I'll share with you all of Cambridge 14 right now.
Okay.
So I want you to download right now, okay? Download everything right now. So that's
All right.
14 okay. So all the audios for all the tests are there for book 14. Um,
Okay.
I'll also share with you. I'll not share 15 yet. We'll use that before your test. I'll share with you
Okay.
12, book 12. So there are 4 tests here. See, all the audios are here, okay? The ebook is here.
Okay.
You can answer after our after each you may answer them ahead of time, okay? But I actually suggest you print them out. It's difficult to answer IELTS tests without marking them. You have to mark them, listening, reading, and you have to take down notes. Yeah, print out the question papers, okay? Just choose the pages that you will need to print out. Do you have your own printer?
No, I don't. I have to go to the shop where they normally print
Mm-hmm. How much is printing
and do
there? Is
that.
it
I don't have it.
expensive or?
Yeah, it's expensive.
It is? It is? Okay, so it's
Oh
up
yes.
to you, okay? Well,
Yeah.
here, and I'll also share with you book 11. So that's 3 books I
Okay.
shared with you today. Download all of them because, and then let me know when you're finished downloading because I'll need to remove you from, yeah, I need
Okay.
to remove you soon.
All right.
Remove, who is, oh, you're Dr. T. Can I call you doctor instead?
No problem.
Yeah, doctor. I think I should call you that. Somehow shows respect, right? Because yeah, you're a doctor. So okay. Additional support, IELTS progress check there. So read this file. And what I actually
Okay.
want to show you here is the structure here.
Okay.
Mm. So IELTS academic listening. It's available in 2 versions, academic and general training. They're the same, okay, both for 30 minutes. So in paper-based tests, you actually, general trainings candidates and academic candidates, they take the test all at the same time. All right, because
Okay.
it's basically the
Okay.
same test. There are 4
Okay.
recorded monologues and conversations. Later on, we'll go through them in detail. Okay, so after
Okay.
the listening test, so you're given the listening test first, okay, on test day, and then you're
Okay.
next you're given the reading
Okay.
test. The reading test is for there's no
Okay.
break in between. Okay,
Okay.
students candidates can take their a quick bathroom break if you want to, but the test will not stop for you. Okay, so you
Wow.
you got to do your thing before the test.
Okay.
I'm not so sure how it's done in your part of the world, but in the Philippines, that's how they do it here. So I'm guessing it's the same everywhere else. So the reading
Yeah, it's the
test,
same.
it's the same. It's a standard test, right? Reading is for
Exactly. Yeah.
60 minutes. Okay, there are 3
Minute.
passages. 60 minutes, 1 hour.
Wow.
Okay. That's on test day. So you got to be able to manage your time. Now, in the assessment I gave you, how long did you answer the reading test?
That was like for like 45 minutes altogether.
Okay. 45 only? Wow, you're
Yes. For
good.
the
Okay, but you got to make sure that we'll be checking your work together. Okay, see how you did.
okay.
Okay, because if I let my students check their work on their own, sometimes they check the wrong answers too. Because me,
Oh,
I'm looking at many different things like penmanship, capitalization, punctuation. So words that are supposed to be hyphenated, but you don't write a hyphen, for instance, so I mark that wrong. Okay, proper
okay.
nouns that are not capitalized, I mark that wrong. Okay,
Wow.
yeah, legibility of your penmanship. If for instance your answer is correct but I don't understand the spelling, for instance, like your letter E looks like a letter C, things like that, I mark that wrong
Okay. Okay.
because
Okay.
that is how it is in the actual test. Okay, grammar matters, spelling
Okay.
matters, punctuation matters. Okay, so in the
Okay.
reading text test, sorry, in the reading test, again, there are three passages, all of increasing level of difficulty. Okay, passage one is the easiest. That's where you find the easiest questions, and then followed by passage two questions, and then passage three questions. There are many question types. We'll go through them one by one because the approach is not the same for all of them. All right, although there's a
Okay.
two general reading skills you need to apply, skimming and scanning.
Okay.
Okay, all right. Scanning means you look for specific information. Scanning means you try to understand the gist or yeah, what is one paragraph all about, or what is the entire passage's message. If you can express it in one simple phrase or in one sentence, what is it all about? There you go.
Okay.
Okay. Any questions so far?
No questions so
None
far.
for yet. I don't want to ask
No.
questions.
We ask questions? We ask questions?
Writing. Okay, for writing, there you only have 60 minutes in total for both tasks, task 1 and task 2. Now, as you have
Okay.
experienced in task 1, you got to write a report for 150 words minimum, and you get
Okay.
penalized if you write less than 150 words. Okay?
Wow.
And the penalty is huge, like a whole band score in a
Hmm.
certain area. So make sure that you follow the prescribed format in writing, and you also count the number of words. However, if you're taking the computer delivered test, um, there's an automatic counter. Okay.
Okay.
All right. But
Okay.
unlike in Word, you know Word, right? When you type a document,
Yes. Yes.
when you make a
Yes.
mistake, Word highlights it in broken red lines or green lines or blue lines, I think. It highlights your mistakes, but
Yes.
in IELTS, you will not see anything like that. You won't know if
Wow.
you're making a mistake or not. Now,
I'm
in
not.
paper-based test, you need to count the number of words. All right, make sure that
Okay.
yeah, you know how to. You don't get penalized for being under length. Okay.
Okay.
Now in task one, sorry, going back to task one. Um, Basically, it's called a report because all you need to do is describe what you see
Okay.
and be able to be able to explain trends like consumption is going up, consumption is going down, and then you have to give details and references like yeah, what made you say it's going up, what made you say it's going down. Okay, what do you see? In other words, do you think this trend is going to continue in the future, or is it going to change in the future? All right.
Okay.
And you'll have to consider major and minor trends. Okay. Part
Okay.
two. So all those things in 20 minutes. Okay, so you got to work fast. In task two, here you have to write an essay. So it's quite different in task one, which is only a report. That means you do not include any of your opinions. Okay, like I think, blah, blah, blah. Okay, here in the
Okay.
essay, there are different kinds of essays in IELTS. There's opinion essay, advantages, disadvantages, agree, disagree, uh, problem solution, causes and effects. Okay, and most of the time you're asked for your opinion. What do you think? What side do you consider, or which side do you consider to, do you tend to agree with? Okay, and why? You always need to express your answer and support your answer by answering the question why. And when you do that, it has to be a strong, you have to provide strong arguments, okay, based on in real life probably, or based on your
All right.
experience. Okay, like why is it better
Okay.
working in your home country or working abroad? Which is better? What do you think? To work in your country or to work
I think
abroad?
working abroad is better.
Okay, then you have to justify that. Can you
Working
give me
abroad is far better than working.
far better? That's a better answer actually. Can you give me two reasons why?
Ah,
Strong reasons. Yeah.
um, one of the reason I think working abroad is far better than working in my home country is the fact or the issue of would I say the monetary aspect, the monetary system. Because working in Africa, my home country is like when it comes to the heaviness of the money. Like for instance, let's take for example, government is far more protective compared to that issue. So you're able to work very few, able to accumulate a lot of money compared to here. Here you work a lot and accumulate very little, but over there you work for a very long time. Sorry, for a very short time and can accumulate a lot of money.
Like really fast.
Secondly, I think working is fast.
That's okay. That's okay. But you gotta make sure the speaking test is recorded, okay, and make sure that everything's captured and well understood.
Okay,
Okay. All right.
okay, okay, okay.
Continue. Don't
Okay.
worry.
All right. Should I continue?
Yes, please.
Okay. The second thing is when you working abroad, you are less distracted compared to when you're at your home country. There's less distraction compared to when you are in your home country.
Okay. Can you explain that to me?
Okay, in the sense that probably the family, relationship wise, you're not there with them, so yeah, you can do your thing on your own. You can concentrate without much without much distraction from either your parents, your brothers, your sister, your sibling, or maybe from relationship wise. Yeah.
That makes me feel guilty. When you mentioned relationships. Yeah, actually, I think what you're trying to say is that you tend to be more focused when you're abroad because there are less distractions coming from
Exactly.
family, okay,
Yes.
being near you, physically near you. Okay, or
Yes.
probably romantic relationships like a girlfriend or your husband or wife.
Exactly.
So
Yes.
in other words, you have more focus, and the tendency is you gotta show the cause and effect. Okay, when you have more
Exactly. Yeah.
focus with work, what happens?
You said?
If someone has focus with work, what are the effects of that in your career or to your performance?
Yeah, there is better productivity. You tend to perform much better. Yeah.
Mhm. Okay. It happened to me here that
Ah,
I wasn't too focused because during the quarantine, there are lots of, people at work from home. And for someone like me who's a mom with children around me. There are lots of distractions. You gotta work full
Oh,
time. You gotta. I lost my full time job actually because of that.
oh,
Yeah, because I
oh,
can't focus anymore. Yeah, every time I wanna work, something
sorry.
else, comes up. Mommy, I need to do this. Mommy. But when you're in the office, when I was in the office in the past, nothing like that happens. But at home, all things happen. Even my mom becomes,
Exactly.
yeah, I need to take care of my senior mom as well. So there, even the
Wow.
pets, yeah, we have pets and, there are lots of distractions around me. So I said, I just want to go back to teaching freelance there.
Oh,
Have you noticed I injected my own experience when I explained?
yes.
Yeah, so you can do that too, but maybe not too long.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So how do
Okay.
you
Okay.
support your
Okay.
claim? How do you support your position? Include your own examples or your own examples based on experience or based on other people's experience.
Okay. I just wanted to ask that whether you can use other experience, but you've already answered my question.
There you go.
Okay.
Or if you don't want to
If
be, mm-hmm.
uh,
Yeah, you were saying.
yeah, I was saying that a very good example is my younger brother. Actually, he's actually in the states. He's in the states for now.
Uh huh.
But before traveling out, he was not very productive when it comes to uh, will I say financial wise. He was not very strong. Probably due to the distraction he was getting here from my dad, my younger brothers, and stuff like that, and also relationship wise. But now he's gone over there. He's studying and he's working. He's actually performing better than when he
Mm-hmm.
was in Africa.
I see. Okay, see that?
Yes.
Yeah, that's one of the advantages of why it's far better to work in another country than working in your home country where your family is around you. Family and friends
Exactly.
and girlfriend and boyfriend. Okay, here. How is the IELTS scored? So there's an IELTS has a 9 band scale, 0 to 9. So that's 10 actually, 0 to 9. But 0 means did not attempt the test, or you were there but you did not answer the test. So that's 0, you get a 0.
Wow.
Yeah. You're aiming for band 7 minimum. So band 7 means good user. And what does it
Okay.
mean?
Has operational command of the language, although with occasional inaccuracies, inappropriacies, and
Inaccuracies.
misunderstandings
Can you
in
say
some
that again?
situations.
Can you say that again?
Inaccuracies.
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 Inaccuracies. Inaccuracies.
Inaccuracies.
Don't be offended, Aldo, okay?
No, it's
um,
fine.
that falls under pronunciation in speaking. Okay, pronunciation is
Okay.
25%. And when we're talking about
Wow.
pronunciation, it's not just how you pronounce individual vowel sounds and consonant sounds, but we're talking about pronunciation features in general. It means word stress, sentence stress, yeah, what else? Intonation. Okay, how do you
Okay.
utilize pauses and stops? How do you highlight certain ideas or information when you talk about something by using your voice? Okay, so that's highlighting emphasis in speaking. So inaccuracies. Inaccuracies. Where is the stress? How many syllables are there in the word inaccuracies?
Accurate.
How many syllables are there?
Is that two?
No.
Mm.
Inaccuracies. How many
Five.
syllables? Five. So
Five.
where
Yeah.
is oh, sorry. I was going to say the answer. Where's the stress of the word?
The second syllable.
Second syllable. So you say inaccuracies. One more time.
Inaccuracies.
Okay. So you're saying it with the long A, inaccuracies.
Okay.
Inaccuracies.
Inaccuracies.
Inaccuracies. If you want to check out what's the proper pronunciation, you may go to an online dictionary. I like using Merriam-Webster Oxford, anything by Cambridge. Okay. Depends on whether you're checking
All right.
for American or British accents, okay, or pronunciation.
Oh, oh,
Write them
okay.
down. Are you writing things down?
Yes, I am. I'm
You,
writing them
you
down.
gotta have a notebook for our lessons, okay?
Yeah, I do. I do have one.
Okay. All right. So that's good, user. Continue, please. Although,
Where is it again? Although with occasional inaccuracies,
mhm,
inappropriacies, and
inappropriacies
misunderstandings,
and
inappropriacies,
inappropriacies and
inappropriacies,
mhm.
and misunderstandings.
In some situations.
In some
Okay.
situations,
So the
we start
operational
generally
word there is occasional. Okay. Not
occasional.
often. That's what it means. Rarely. So when
Okay,
you make
okay, okay,
mistakes, it has to be maybe about 10-20% of the time only. So if you make lots of
okay.
mistakes, okay, later, yeah, I want to ask you some questions and then check them out. Listen to yourself. How many mistakes do you think? 20% of the time, 10% of the time, or is it 100% of the time? I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah, continue.
Okay. Generally, handles complex language well and understands detailed reasoning.
Okay, you're not enunciating pronunciation or the sounds. Okay,
You
language.
said?
Enunciate. There's pronunciation, right? Pronunciation. There's
Okay,
also
pronunciation.
enunciation, which means for the word detailed, I did not hear you say detailed, the D sound. I did not hear that. I only,
Detailed.
there you go, detailed. Right.
Detailed. Okay.
How do you read this again?
Language.
Okay, language. Language.
Language.
It's not
Language.
language, language. Okay. Filipinos are like that too. Language. Yeah, language. Language.
Language. Language. Okay.
But pronunciation errors like that could be minor, okay, because that could have something to do with, cultural differences. But if you
Exactly.
yeah, yeah. However, IELTS is owned by native speakers. You have to keep that in mind. Okay.
All right.
Practice. Listen. How do they say words? How do they pronounce
Okay.
words? How do they express something in everyday? Yeah. So from now on, your homework, Olu, on an everyday basis is to train yourself. How? I want you to listen to native speakers speak. Observe them.
Okay.
How do they speak? How do they pronounce certain words? What kinds of expressions do they use? Well, honestly, well, yeah, I definitely agree to that. Okay.
All
Yeah.
right.
All right.
All
I
right.
want you to, and then I want you to choose a native speaker who you would like to imitate. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Choose, let's say, a broadcaster or a newscaster. Try to
Okay.
imitate that person when he speaks here, but try to look for someone who's male, not female. Okay.
Female. Okay. Okay.
Male
Okay.
speaker, yeah, which okay, so it has to be a native speaker. Do you tend to
Okay.
speak
Like a
more?
British reporter.
Yeah, yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay. Okay.
um are you more inclined to imitating American accent or British accent or Australian accent?
Yeah, I'm more of American accent
You're more
actually.
American? Okay, so listen, but it has to be academic standard, not the punk
Okay.
American. All right. It has to be academic, like a newscaster. All right, there you go. There's a lot on
All right.
YouTube. Okay.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. And then let me know, Anna, I chose this person to imitate this person. Okay, so here there's
Okay.
all throughout this file, you will see a more detailed explanation of the different tests, subtests in the IELTS. So for the listening test, there's an explanation for each of the sections. This will be your homework. I will not discuss this with you anymore. Okay.
Okay.
So section one, conversation. Section two, monologue set in an everyday social context. Section one, also social context. Section three is educational or training context. Okay. And section four, again, educational or training context. The difference is that section three is there's more than one person. It's a conversation between up to four people. But section four is a talk.
Okay.
Okay, so you will be tested on your ability to listen actively. And
Okay.
how do you listen actively? You have to take down accurate notes. All
All
right,
right.
note taking is very important. And your ability to understand what you've heard the first time, for the first
Okay.
or for one time. Now, these are tips for listening. Okay, there are only a few here, but there are more in my resources. All right, I want you to read them. Okay,
Okay.
later on. Here are the question types. There's multiple choice, how it works. Okay, so there are tips here. Matching questions, how it
Okay.
works, plan, map, diagram labeling, how it works, form, note, table, flow chart, summary, completion. Now, in other sources, there are more. Okay, so there's more here, short answers, sentence completion, and so on. Now, the approach is not the same for all. So you got to study each of them and study how do I answer all these types of questions and what do I have to do. Now, you won't encounter all of them in one test only. So the best way to prepare for the listening test is to answer maybe four or more practice tests and mock tests. Okay. I suggest you do that regularly
Okay.
on a weekly basis. It's maybe once, twice, or three times in a week. That's the reason I
Like.
like for listening. Try to
Okay.
answer regularly and make sure that you always have a goal. Like
Okay.
last time I only got 25. This practice test, I want to get 30. Next test, I want to get a 35. You
Okay.
got to have a goal. If you don't understand
Okay.
something, you got to understand where you're making mistakes.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
what
Okay.
type
Okay.
of questions are you making mistakes in? Okay, and you have to
Okay.
check them out. At the end of the book that I shared with you, there are transcripts. Okay, I want you to check the answers. Look at the answers at the end of the book, and then understand why did I make a
Okay.
mistake. So wrong spelling is wrong,
Okay.
wrong grammar is wrong. If you wrote more than what's, but if you have doubts, you can always ask me. Like Anna, I think this should be the answer. Why is it not in the answer key? Because sometimes there
Okay.
are acceptable answers, other acceptable
Okay.
answers. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm. Reading. Okay, let's go to reading. Question types and
Okay.
tips. So again, this is for 60 minutes, 1 hour. There are three sections, each containing one long text. Okay. And there's a
Yeah.
process. There's a step-by-step process on how to answer the reading text. If you answered in 45 minutes, um, two things. It's either you're really good with the test or you're really bad with the test. We'll find out. We'll find out. Uh-huh. Check your own
Yeah. Sure.
answers and tell me what scores you got, and then I'll teach you how to convert them into IELTS band scores. Okay, there's a conversion table that we
Okay.
follow. Yeah, it's shared in the Google Drive Okay, the conversion table.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Section one contains two or three factual texts, one of which may be composite, consisting of 6 to 8 short texts related by topics. Okay, hotel advertisements.
No.
Topics are related to everyday life in an English speaking country. So, if you're the type of person who reads the news a lot, this shouldn't be difficult for you. Do
Okay.
you read the news a lot in English? I mean, news in English every day or regularly?
You mean whether I listen or I watch or
Both.
I read?
Both. Read,
Yeah, I listen,
listen,
but
and
I
listen
hardly read.
and read.
I hardly read, but I listen.
Ah, okay. From now on, you're supposed to be reading too. Okay.
No problem. No,
If
no
it's not a
problem.
habit, a lot, maybe 10 minutes of your everyday time. A lot, 10 minutes doing that every day. I recommend that to you.
All right.
Okay. Why? IELTS
Okay.
topics are usually about daily life, what's going on around you, world
Okay.
news. Okay. And
Okay. Okay.
some common ones too. All right. Now help me out. Kindly read section two.
Section 2 contains two short factual texts focusing on work-related issues, e.g., applying for jobs,
EG means
company policy.
example. For example.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. For example, applying for jobs, company policies, pay and conditions, workplace facilities, staff development, and training.
And the third one?
Okay. The recording actually is blocking it.
Is it?
Yes.
How about this?
Still, I only see the contain one, then the rest is being blocked by the recording icon.
Really? No, this one, section three.
Okay. It says, sorry, you
It
will be
says.
reading
It
real
says.
passages. It says,
Yeah.
that's SAY, right? SAYS, right?
SAYS. Says.
Okay. It says you will be reading real passages taken from notices, advertisements, company, handbooks,
Company
official
handbook.
documents.
Company handbooks.
Yes, company handbooks. Oh, company handbooks,
Uh-huh.
official documents, books, magazines, and newspapers.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's good. Next time, let's try Skype. Would that be okay?
What?
Next time, let's try Skype. See which one's
No
better.
problem. I will download that.
Okay. All
No
right.
problem. No problem. No.
Okay. So here are tips. This is not our lesson for today, but I'll make this as your homework. Read about the tips about reading. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Question types. I want you to read about the question types here too. Mm-hmm. So there are different question types.
Okay.
You might for
Okay.
next meeting, we don't have time anymore to do a speaking test. Okay, but this is what I want you to do. I shared with you everything here. I want you to read about speaking. Okay, just browse
Okay.
the lectures here. So part one is here. If you click on part one folder, see that the lectures here. All right, you see that?
Okay.
Okay, so going back,
Yes.
so this is the speaking folder. Okay, if you click on part two, there's the lecture. Strategies are here too. Okay,
Okay.
strategies for each of the parts because they're not the same.
Okay.
Part three is here. There's
Okay.
the lecture. All right.
Okay.
Here are the strategies. How do I get band 9 is here. All right.
Okay.
And the rest are actually they're there for a reason. Here, examiner approved tips. I want you to read that too. Okay.
Okay.
All right. You want to check
Okay.
on sample questions and answers? They're all here. Sample questions and
Okay.
answers. Okay.
Okay.
Going back to the book. So yeah. Today actually, when do we speak again? So it's actually okay if we don't finish discussing this. Because we will have time in the future to discuss them in more detail. The purpose of this file is for your FYI. All right. Again, it's
Okay.
IELTS preparation guide. This is
Okay.
2019. I gotta check out the latest one, but basically there's not much difference. There's actually no difference at all. Only the content is different. See that flag there?
Okay.
Do you see the flag here on my
Yes.
screen? Yeah, that means Google blocked
Yes. Yes.
blocked me from sharing this to you guys. So it's here in
Okay.
my files, but you can't see this on your end. Why? It's copyright material. Okay, there you go.
Okay.
So those are under the free ebooks. Hello?
Yes, I'm getting you.
Okay. Um, yeah, so again, tell me before I let you go, what are your homework?
You actually tell me to read about the examiner approved tips.
Mm-hmm. Where can you find that material?
Um,
Here.
I wasn't actually following because I'm actually downloading the assignment you give to me
Ah.
the file you sent to me and listening at the same time. So I'm kind of confused.
It's here. It's here in this folder. Free ebooks.
Okay. Which of the
Okay.
folder is that? Free
Free
ebooks.
ebooks. Okay. Double click that. And yeah, they're here. Okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
But how will I get access to to these videos?
Sorry.
I said, how will I get access to this recorded video?
To this
Sorry.
recording.
Yes. Yes.
Where is this? I think this is being saved in my computer. Yeah, I'll send the video to you.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. All right.
So I'm still checking for the, here the connection is kind of slow. So I'm still checking for the ebook, free ebooks
Okay.
actually.
That's fine. That's fine. So check them out first because
Yes.
it's difficult to teach students if they don't know where to find the materials. Okay. And
Exactly.
it's also,
Yeah.
would you allow me, Olu, to upload this video on YouTube? And then I'll just share to you the link.
No problem.
Okay, that's fine.
No problem. That'll be okay.
Yeah, we'll get lots of followers if, if we do that.
Exactly.
Yeah, we'll be celebrities if we do that.
Exactly.
Now, my purpose actually is it makes it easier for my students. And also, yeah, in YouTube, if you want to come up with your, do you have your own channel, by the way? YouTube channel?
Yeah, I do, but it's not how will I call it?
Not updated?
I forgot how to say it. Exactly.
Actually, my channel is not updated too. So I'm starting to update it
Okay.
again. Right before this class, I was actually checking on videos that I could upload so that you guys can observe how I do it in class, in my previous classes. Yeah. And I have lots of, candidates from your country, and I'm
Ah,
gonna, yeah, from your country, and you'll see how we used to do it in class, not one-on-one, but I thought maybe one-on-one is better than class discussion. But
exactly. One.
yeah, right. Okay, well, we'll end here, and then if you have questions, where do we communicate? On WhatsApp. We'll communicate in
Oh,
WhatsApp. Okay. Uh-huh.
okay.
All right.
Sorry, Annie.
Yeah.
Are you getting me, please? Yeah, the free ebook. You sent to me a lot of